SkyWars Part 2, Gameplay and Overview. In Part 1, we learned about the types of SkyWars cards, how they are created, the card attributes, and the battle outcome matrix. If you have not reviewed Part 1 of the rules, please do so now. The field of play is any table or flat surface that can give you adequate room to spread out a bit with your cards. There is no formal board necessary at all. You can imagine your table as 3 unmarked zones. Your lab, where you place your creation units, battle units, and equipment that you create. Your opponent's lab, and the battle. After shuffling your decks, each player will randomly deal themselves 8 cards from their own deck. You will hold these cards in your hand so the opponent cannot see them. You will also each have a battle outcome matrix, as well as 2 6-sided dice. For the first turn, if you do not like the 8 cards you picked, you can reshuffle your deck and pick another 8 cards. To determine who goes first, each player rolls a die. The highest number wins, and the winner can decide to go first or second. On all future turns, the first step in a player's turn is to pick a card. The player that plays first does not pick a card. This is to balance the advantage of going first. At the beginning of your turn, you replenish all of your depleted or used creation and battle units from the previous turn. This simply means that any creation unit or disoriented battle units are now replenished and can be used again for your turn. Depleted cards are indicated by changing the orientation of a card, such as moving it at an angle. More on this as we move forward. After all of your cards have been replenished, you will pick a card from your deck and place it in your hand. You can place one creation unit from your hand into your lab at this point in your turn. A creation unit is usable the turn that you place it into your lab. We are now going to use creation units to create a battle unit. To do this, we're going to zip ahead one turn. We would have placed another creation unit in our lab. We now have 2 creation units in our lab, a bioacceleration and a neurogenesis. We can scan the cards in our hand and see that we have enough creation units to play one of 2 cards. A Creation Oracle power card, since it requires 2 of any creation units, or the Shadow Assassin battle unit. Let's go ahead and build a Shadow Assassin. We see by the lights in the upper left of the card that it requires 1 Neurogenesis creation unit and 1 Bioacceleration creation unit. Using these creation units for this turn to create a Shadow Assassin depletes the creation units, and they cannot be used for anything else until they are replenished at the beginning of the player's next turn. We indicate that a card is depleted by turning the card. We can now place the Shadow Assassin in the lab, but for this turn, it is in the process of being created. The Shadow Assassin is not usable to attack or defend till the beginning of the player's next turn, when it is fully replenished. Equipment cards can be created in the same way that we created the Shadow Assassin battle unit, while power cards can be used at any point during your turn, as long as you have undepleted creation units to activate their powers.